1,240. 1,241. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Is it that time already? Welcome to... Welcome back to the League Show. This is our first official season show. So, without further ado, let's get into it. It's been an exceptionally good weekend for some, particularly Jack, who currently sits in first place after the first game week with 94 points, which is frankly astounding for the very first weekend of the game. I just want everyone who is maybe new to the season to remember that this is absolutely not representative of how each week will go. If he gets 94 each week, that would be an absolute miracle. It's probably not going to happen. Normally people average sort of around between the 30 to 50 mark, and sort of 40 to 50 is considered a good week. 30 is considered an average week. Anything lower than that, you've had a pretty shit week. So generally speaking, no one in the league has had what would be considered a shit week by standard means, but by the standards set in this week, some of us have maybe fallen a little lower down the line. So let's get into it. In first place, we obviously have Jack, who scored 94 points, starting the season very, very strong. 54 of those points come from the combo of Fernandes and Salah being captained, and that's like just they're going to be a key pair. If you don't have both of those already, I'd highly recommend getting them into your team. They're going to see you getting a lot of points. That's the way to really build up. Jack has chosen to go for a strange formation, which we don't often see, with just one player up front and 5 in midfield, 4 defenders. It'd be interesting to see how that pays off for him further down the line, but as for now, it's clearly worked. You can't really fault him. Occupying an unusually lofty position in the table is Mikey, who currently sits in second place with 88 points. Nearly half of those points coming from Captain Fernandes. Other noted performances come from Schmeichel in goal, Cresswell in defence, and Danny Ings up front. However, Mikey does have 9 points currently sat on the bench. 9 points that might have made the difference between first and second place. I'm sure that'll sting a little bit, but I'm also sure that Mikey will just be generally glad not to be sat at the bottom of the table. Third place goes to me with 87 points, just a single point behind Michael. This again coming from the combo of Salah and Fernandes. Antonio also putting in a performance this weekend, gaining a solid 13 points, and generally 87 points is fairly good. It's I will admit, it does sting a little bit to be just that close to Mikey and not be able to take it, but third place right off the bat, not a bad place to be. In fourth place we have Danny, once again due to that killer combo of Fernandes and Salah in the midfield, and also sort of backed up by Cresswell in the defence. I'm sure it'll be a little bit painful for Danny to have not quite reached the podium position, but I'm sure that within the next few weeks he definitely will get there. Danny is consistently a great manager of this game. Next up we have Phil, a returning founder of the league who was missing last year. Phil puts out basically a lukewarm performance, opting to put 3 players up front and skimp on defence. Phil finishes this week with 7 points sat on the bench. Here's a word from our sponsor.
Hi, my name's Greg Whittle, and I'm here today to tell you about an exciting new development in the world of healthcare. If you're anything like me, then you've probably had troubles with dizzy spells, fainting, or even dying. Well, have I got a development for you. It's called breathing. Clinically proven to help extend your life. Simply, and you're there. Try breathing today.
In sixth place, we have Sophie, who has put out an absolute belter of a team. Points coming in left, right and centre. Absolute perfect performance. Could not fault it in the slightest. In seventh place, we have Lee, who's put out a respectable performance, achieving 45 points. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with Kane later on in the season, who thus far has not made an appearance in the Premier League, not even sitting on the bench for Tottenham this weekend. Next up, we have Good Enough, who, despite having Hugo Lloris in goal and Van Dijk on the defence, Madison in midfield, failed to really make an impact, only getting 44 points this week. He's going to have to try harder than that if he wants to catch up with the big boys and earn himself a podium place. In ninth place, we have Emily, who had 3 blanks on the pitch, which is absolutely not ideal. It looks like she may be following Mikey's steps of just being quite bad. While editing this together, I did kind of decide that I'd probably been a bit too harsh on Emily there, so I just want to apologise. Sorry. And firmly in last place, our first bottom bitch of the season is James Calderbank with whatever this team is. What are you doing, James? All in all, it has been a fantastic start to the season, and so I hope that we continue to have some dramatic events like we did this weekend, and I look forward to giving you all your next update at the end of Game Week 2. Remember to get your changes and your transfers in and saved by the time of the next deadline, which is Saturday at 11 a.m. I have been your host, Mr. Greg Whittle. You have been an absolute delight, and we should catch up again sometime.